Hey, good afternoon on the East Coast, and good afternoon on the West Coast, and good evening over across the pond. So, yeah, back might do a game later, or will be doing a game later. But hey, there's Mark Roberts sporting a new little YouTube badge, for lack of a better word, seeing the Dodgers. All right, welcome in. So, disclaimer. This is pretty much exclusive to Action PC Baseball. I'm going to be doing some series, some videos, just every once in a while, some of the other digital games I play for you to get freebies. A lot of people in this community own Action PC Baseball. I would say probably a percentage of them know about these couple resources I'm going to show today, but there might be those that just got into the game and have no idea about the wealth of information out there, the wealth of data, if you will, that you want. And I haven't even downloaded them all. There's just so much. So this first one is the Action PC Sports Community, and for those of you that play the lesser sports such as basketball, f-ball, golf, and hockey, there's also sections for that. People know me. You know I'm just a baseball fan only. I suppose if Action PC ever came out with a boxing game, I'd probably mess around with that. But anyhow, let's get into it. I'm also going to fire up Action PC 2023 so we can look at some of at least the rosters I've downloaded and stuff like that. So we'll get to that. And then, in fact, this is one of them that you're looking at right now. And yes, indeed, even we're going to have a look, as we usually do, on Steve Tate's 5-year franchise files, which are available here. And I'm pretty sure these are the most updated ones. I'm not sure. Hey, Andrew, good afternoon. Good to see you as well. Andrew RW603 joining Mark and I in our little excursion into Action PC baseball world. So we'll get to the obvious one at the end, the Action PC forums, but this Action PC sports community is free, so you can subscribe to it, but you don't really have to. Um, Nice clean interface. I think there's a little bit of wasted space here. I think somebody didn't know how to do their CSS properly, so I really wouldn't even bother with this. So you go up here, and the CSS is a little better. So we're going to go first to seasons. So there's a lot here. So let's say you just bought the base game. I mean, maybe that's all you had the money for, and that's totally understandable. But if you really want to expand your game beyond just doing season replays and things like that, and why wouldn't you with this huge baseball sandbox? Um, there's so much stuff out there for you to pick up. So under baseball seasons, these were done by Zep317. These have been up for a little while. It looks like the dates are around 2020. And I'd always seen these, and it's like, and I eventually downloaded them. So similar to what Steve Tate did with his 5-year franchise file, this is a 3-year franchise file, but it kind of granularizes. So I think Zep's stuff might have come before Steve's or Steve before Zep. I don't know. Steve would know this better. So this is a 3-year franchise. So these are franchise grades, combined teams over a 3-year period. So this first one is 1901 to 1909. This is 1920 to 1942, 1946 to 1959, 1960 to 1979, 1980 to 1999, and then finally 2000 to 2019. Just right there, that's a lot of baseball. Just a lot of baseball. There's Aaron Reeves. So a lot of baseball. Um, it's just absolutely incredible. So when you start thinking about products and projects like this, and we'll get into the non-major league stuff, which I'm not interested, but I know other people are. Um, let's say let's go a little further, and you really wanted to. You weren't necessarily into season replays, but you wanted to do all kinds of what ifs and what have you. What I would suggest, I always suggest, is buy the get the base game at least. Get the base game at least. You get like a couple seasons, or you get all time baseball's all-time great 20 teams or something along. So enough to play there, but after a while, when you dig more deeply into action PC baseball, hey, there's cousin Ken Castro. When you dig more deeply into action PC baseball, you just realize it's like you have infinite possibilities, and the ease of use of action PC baseball is just unparalleled. And that's where I give it, it's just a slight edge over out of the park baseball. Out of the park baseball, you can do this kind of stuff, but not quite with the same sense of ease, unfortunately. Um, so, whether you're on a budget or you're like me and you have everything for this game, there's always more you can get. So, moving on down. So, this is nice. I love how this breaks things down. So you could pull out teams. Imagine what you could do, right? So you get all these very, very small files, right? You install them, and remember, when you download season files or you buy them from Dave Cook, do not unzip the season files. Anyhow, um, so you could pull any teams out of here and create them into a league. These are already set up with schedules to play as a season. I will tell you, as far as Zepp's files go and Steve Tate's files, there are doppelgangers. So when I downloaded the 1920 to 1942, I did what I call the Rogers Hornsby check to see if he was both on the Cubs and the Cardinals. So he is. So for those of you, and I'm one of them actually, I don't really like doppelgangers. So I don't know that I'll do these as a season. Maybe I'll try to bite the bullet, mess around with it. Just know that there will be doppelgangers. So in 1901 to 1919, you're going to have Eddie Collins both on the Philadelphia Athletics and the Chicago White Sox. But if that doesn't bother you, and it's not a big thing, especially playing these out as a season if you wanted to, or a tournament, pick maybe, so like obviously 1901 to 1919 has the original 16. Pull these teams out, maybe pull four from here, four from here, whatever. Infinite possibility. But what else is in here? There's a 1926 Negro Leagues file in here, free. You into Japanese baseball? Here's 1964. How about Pacific Coast League, the ill-fated diamond mine project that Robbie never ever finished? His was in the 1940s, I believe, but here's the 1974 Pacific Coast League. There's the Senior Professional Baseball Association, which I think World's Worst Gamer is messing with. There's some more Japanese baseball here. What else? What else? Tons of Japanese baseball. You want some California League, Carolina League, Eastern League. Again, I'm not interested so much in minor league baseball, but it's all here. There's even, you've got independent leagues here. Somebody put up a 2013 Atlantic League that's an independent minor leagues. You've got the PCL, AAA, so you're going to see some major leaguers there, and in the AA files. There's college in here. There's all kinds of stuff. There's the Florida State League. There's more PCL here. There's just tons and tons of stuff. Again, my thing is Major League Baseball. So there's so much to study with Major League Baseball. I just don't have time to, fire up a minor league project and do something with that. But I know some folks like it. And at the very bottom, the 5-year franchises, National League. I don't see. Oh, there they are. And there's the American League. These are not the latest updates for Steve's files. So you might want to catch up with Steve and see where else these are posted. Okay, but it's not just seasons that you can get in here too to kind of dress up your game. So let's go back and let's look at images. All right, look at this. You're doing Negro Leagues, and right now, and again, we're mentioning Steve quite a bit here. Steve has been recreating Negro Leagues, but using Major League equivalencies, whereby, and these weren't his that he made up, by the way, but this is a way to actually allow these Negro Leaguers to play on a level playing field in non-integrated baseball. And so far, the results that we've seen, just sort of beta testing Steve's work, has been pretty amazing. So right here, for instance, 1938 Negro Leagues team logos, player photos, uniforms, and non-Negro League retro ballparks. Look how much you get for that. This is from Shim Woolley, who I just saw did a video or so a month ago. On Digital Diamond Baseball. Maybe you just want these retro ballparks. Also, you could use these. You could use this whole Negro League file just sort of generally and use them with either Steve's free files or Dave Cook, who just released 3 more Negro League seasons, 1946, 47, and 48, which I have yet to install. So right there, this is huge. Let's say that you're just doing a replay. Well, if you're doing 1951, here's the players just for 1951. Here they are for 61, 62, 63, 64. You want to replay the 64 World Series? Here you go. But you can get player photos just by year. So let's say you want to do 1968, a great year of the pitcher there. But you don't want to have to slog through photos of Joe DiMaggio, Ty Cobb, Hannes Wagner, and do all these photo assignments. Here you go, right here. And it looks like this is pretty well covered, too, at least up to, 1974, as we look here. There's more, right? Let me see. There's Federal League. If you're just doing Federal League, again, we reference Robbie Wartburg. Right, yeah. So I don't even have Steve's. I don't even have Steve's latest then if they're January 2023, unless he sent them to me in an email. So the ones I'm using are from like New Year's Eve of 2022. So if he's added a few teams. But here's Federal League. Lance Powers ballpark images. This is a great one. Somebody's been asking me where to source ballpark pictures for Action PC Baseball. This Lance Powers file is amazing, and I strongly, strongly urge that if you need ballparks for your game, and I mean, Action PC Baseball does come with some ballpark images, but come on, never enough. You can never have enough ballpark images. This Lance Powers download is brilliant. Maybe you just want the modern ballparks. Well, there you go. Look at this. Major League Baseball 2019 parks and logos. Good stuff. There's 2 types of logos for this. There's hat and uniform. This is another neat one. I don't use it, but I know a lot of people do. This is Major League Baseball hat and uniform combinations 1900 to 2020. So you've pretty much covered the 20th and the first 20 years of the 21st century, right? How about all the Major League Baseball team logos from 1890 to 2023? Here they are. More MLB logos and uniforms. This one just goes up to 2016. Negro Leagues player photos. Good stuff. And then there's a couple here. There's painted ballparks. I have not looked at that. There's one here, though, too. If you're looking for logos, first there's Team Cap logos. This is done by Tom Stewart, 1900 to 2016. And then finally, Zeke's logo collection. It's just a crap ton. So there's that. But there's one more thing, which some may be interested in. There's a baseball sounds pack. So just all kinds of miscellaneous. So good stuff. And this is on apccommunity.com. Just type in Action PC Community in Google, and you'll find it. So as Andrew says, yay, Federal League. And there's MV says, hey, Beatles. Yeah, good to see you. So, Andrew's telling us that the 1974 Pacific Coast League had the infamous Sacramento Park with a really short left field fence. Sam Jones, Mick F. says, does top-notch home brews. So, yeah, Mick is joining the Action PC faithful here, if you will. So I thought this might be something that would interest you guys. But we're not done yet. There's still some more, and not on this site. Now we're going to go to a place called Sports Replays, which is cool. It's not as extensive as this site, but there's still a lot to be had here. This may appeal to more of you because it's not just Action PC Baseball. There's all kinds of stuff here. So if we get down to baseball, and again, there you see there's for Action PC Baseball, Digital Diamond Baseball, Diamond Mind, which I played a game of Diamond Mind last night offline. What else? There's Baseball Mogul stuff. This is from 2015. The Baseball Mogul stuff, I'd say you really don't I'd say not, really don't have to worry about. There's Out of the Park. Strategy Baseball, which unfortunately I can't even find on the internet. Wayback Machine, but I still have a copy of it. This was the successor to Pure Sim Baseball, which was it was a pretty good baseball sim. I featured it. There's Pure Sim, which you can still get. And once I put up my baseball site, I'm going to have these guys available. Sean Sullivan made this freely available to the public, so this is truly donationware, freeware, that you get 1901 to what 2014 or 2015. I forget what it is in this. So a lot of baseball mix and match, the way you create teams and things like that. A lot like Baseball for Windows. So if you're familiar with Baseball for Windows, this is a breeze to use. If not, it's still not hard. And if enough people really go and find Pure Sim Baseball, and you can go in the Internet Archive and you will find it, I'll do a little tutorial. Strategic Baseball Simulator is still around. This has so many teams and so many seasons, and this is completely freeware. It's not the easiest to navigate, but it's really, really, really cool. Oh, Dombrov Baseball. I wanted to let you guys know, Richard, and I need to get back to him. I've been so busy. Starting a new job, though, at the end of June, so I have some time in the next 2 weeks to do lots of baseball for you guys. Got a better offer with normal hours, so I'm going to be able to really do a lot. There's a new release for Dombrov Baseball that I'm going to test for Richard, so look for that. I know that VL123 has been looking for a tutorial on it, so that's coming up. Pendant Fever I've never played. I think this is an online-only game, so I can't talk about that. But let's get to the really fun stuff, and that's the freebies, because we love freebies. So when you go back up here to sportsreplays.net, okay, we're going to go to downloads. And so for those of you that have interest in other games, look at this, right? Look at this list of games, man. This is nuts. So if you have, for instance, Digital Diamond, always keep, if you have Digital Diamond Baseball, and I know I'm sort of tangenting all over the place, but there's so much to cover here, okay? Okay, right, and that's the last one we're going to go to, Mick, and I usually haven't gone there yet, but we will definitely go to that last because there's a crazy amount of stuff there. You got to poke around a little bit, but we will definitely do that. In fact, let me cue that up here for the next part of the vid. So there we go. Thank you. So I was talking to you guys about Digital Diamond Base or Diamond Mine Baseball. If you have it, so let's say right now it's on version 12. If you had version 11, keep version 11. The reason being, and actually I have version 10 somewhere. The reason being is that you actually have to import. So unlike Action PC Baseball, with Diamond Mine Baseball, you have to kind of import things. But it's kind of easy to do. I did do a video on it. I can do it again. I know there's not a lot of Diamond Mine players in here, unfortunately. There's Digital Diamond Baseball. There's some stuff for Lance Hafner games. Legends of Boxing. There's some downloads for that. This is just a crazy site that you can just get lost in, which is really, really, really fun. Okay, so, but our interest today is Action PC Baseball. Now it says just 5, right? And you'd think, oh, geez, there's only 5 things to download. Well, you'd be wrong. Now, whoever the curator is of this site, I can't remember what it is. Which I'd love to offer. I'd love to offer my services as a designer to redo his site and make it look pretty and easier to navigate. It's not. So this is very basic HTML. So you got to scroll down a little bit. But there you go. For those of you that play Action PC Golf, look at this. There's all these golf courses. I know that I don't know who plays. I know Al plays it. I think that ID Jester used to play this game. Some of you might play this. I don't know. So there's a ton of golf courses there for you if you want. And then there's All-Star Golf if you play that. But again, let's stick to baseball. So you've got to scroll down There's a bunch for hockey for you hockey fans. And there's a lot for Action PC basketball. Scrolly, 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 scrolly. And here we are, Action PC baseball. So obviously more than 5 items, and certainly some of these, I mean, they're going to be duplicated, um, elsewhere. So like here, for instance, here's Zeke's baseball logo collection, and bam, just get them right. So, but here, look, here's Zepp did some other home brews. These are players from 1956 to 1965. So this is the original 16. So there's that. There's some PCL stuff. You're looking for schedules, maybe for a replay. Well, here's some schedules. Now, that being said, if you belong to Sabre, you can get these. If you're on Digital Skybox, um, Mark Galbraith, why don't you answer emails? These are really available all over the place. So this is kind of, I really wouldn't worry about these too much. But what else here? So again, we have expanded logo files here. We have Shem Woolley's older photo pack for Action PC Baseball. These are outdated. I'm going to be showing you better photo packs for Action Baseball. Um, but down here, look at this, what we have. Most of the people in this, you got to dig around. Yeah, this one you got to dig around. It's not, as you can see down here, one of the dead giveaways of a 1990s website is this sort of weird static background style, and everything like that. I'd love, love, love to redo the site for him. At least the design, and he can put in the content or give me the content. I'd love to do it. But anyhow, most of the community, you're into like not the kind of baseball I do on here, the early stuff. So what about this? You've got Action PC Baseball. You could download this 1950 to 1999 baseball franchise best file, right? Best of the half century covering the years 50 to 59 includes 14 or 24 major league teams throughout, or it says through the 1960s expansion, which is actually, it should say from, but that's okay. The expansion teams will not have all 50 years available, but can still field formidable rosters. Basis of selections: primary WAR, OPS plus, and ERA plus. Players are represented by their best 3 consecutive seasons. To build out rosters, players were imported from Steve Tate's 3 decades, which those are on here, by the way, the 60s, 70s, and 80s, then his own 1990 to 2016 homebrew. Left about 75 players that were calculated input from 1950s. Comes with a full schedule. And here's this 1990 to 2016 baseball franchise best files. You don't want to stray into Beatles eternally and Cousin Ken Castro territory. Get this one. This is really good. So again, this is one of those things that's based on 3 consecutive seasons, and all 30 current teams are included with 35-man rosters. And then there's Steve Tate's 1960s, 70s, and 80s file, which is really good. We have Big Daddy Stovepipes, and I've got to do this so we can read that. There's International League from him. Looking for player photos. Look, there's 1880, 1901, 69, 70, 71. What else? These have actual lineups. So this is Pacific Coast League down here. Um, there's even a free cricket game here if you care. So these are all good. These are all good stuff. So, I mean, the stuff is free. The people have unselfishly given of their time, toil, blood, sweat, and tears to create these. And of course, all of you have seen, but I'm going to show them again because no tutorial or no thing about Action PC on my channel is going to be complete without showing Steve Tate's 5-year franchise files. They're very, very, very interesting. But Aaron, I have not. I have not. I hope to see it. But anyhow, if you guys also want to learn a little bit of cricket, there you go. And good old free cricket game to download. So MV might like that. He's our cricketer. So this is a good one. All right, now we are going to go to Action PC, the forums. And so right here, look, there's ballparks for seam heads that you can get. Or from seam heads, and of course seam heads is it's a free site. You really should get this. All kinds of information about these ballparks. If you're looking for dimensions, everything, of course, geo-referenced. Can you use this in game? Of course you can. If you're wanting some information about the park, maybe you're looking at how I want to normalize things. There's the download Barks database, all kinds of stuff. So Seamhead's a good place to go for resources. And again, because Action PC allows you to even create everything you can imagine. You can create your own players. We could put Robbie Wartburg in here if we wanted to, or Ken Castro. So this doesn't have a lot of season freebies that you're looking for. However, um, this is all people asking Steve about what have you. And there they are. And I probably should download these now since they're 1, 2, 23, and I don't think I have them. Let me check. Let me check. I don't think I have them, or I haven't installed them. I probably have not installed them. Nope, doesn't look like it. Let's go to season here and see. And again, this is like not everything, obviously, in the game. So, yep, looks like I've got to get up to date here. Get my Steve Tate jam on there. Anyhow, let's go back to this and back up to the boink to this. So very, very nicely organized page, and especially in comparison to the last one. But, not to knock the other one. We can go right to the forums, which just brings us to this. General discussion: baseball, basketball, football, golf, hockey, action leagues, replays baseball, whatever, all of these things. So we can go to, I don't know, replays baseball. And then this is where, look, Cousin Ken, somebody's doing 1902. We have a kindred spirit out there. Somebody else is doing 1908. So there are folks out there that seem to like old baseball. Somebody else is doing 1907. Let's look what this guy's doing with 1907. So this is really, really fun. And also, it's nice to show the accuracy. This accuracy of this engine pretty good. And this is, I don't know what part of the season this is, but you can go through, pour through this stuff, see how your replays do against others. But the one we're really looking for here is add-ons and third-party tools. So click on this. Now, unfortunately, fans, or maybe fortunately for you, since I'm the only baseball-only fan in the community, this isn't curated by sport. But there's 16 pages of stuff to go through. If you play F-ball, there you go. You can even play Arena F-ball. My God, I don't know why you'd want to, but there you are. But you got to look around. But there's tons and tons of baseball. Again, here's from Steve. Again, 1970 photos for his 1970s files. Maybe you're not using his, but maybe you're doing a replay of 1975, right? You can snag those, and you're good to go. Baseball player picks. There's lots and lots of stuff here for you guys to just go through forever and ever and ever. And if you play all the Action PC games, these resources I think are absolutely just brilliant. So here's links right to the logos and stuff like that. So there's a lot of cross-pollination, but there's certainly just so much here, so much. It's mind-blowing what's on here. You can dig in here and find play-by-play stuff if you want to do that. Links to baseball uniforms. How about this? Let me see, what's this? Is this the top card set? Yeah, look at this. Let's say you're doing a season replay and you want baseball cards as your you know, for your player images. There you go. Now these weren't on the other sites, so have fun. Knock yourself out. I'll probably post one sometime from that Library of Congress collection. Um, there's there's also his name is Cheech, and he keeps uploading his stuff like crazy, baseball files or baseball photos. So let's go back up here again just to opening the page and go to baseball. And you're looking for player photos. So this guy here, Cheech411, has over 40,776 player photos. Just brilliant stuff. So it's not just going to be in that third-party add-ons bit, but also in the main fora as well. Yeah, 19th century, getting some love. Yeah. McF, you actually have the 5-year installed in alpha order, and Steve start with AL and NL. I renamed your zip copies to give AL and NL last so they show up in alpha. Yeah. Absolutely. But I just don't have his latest version. I hadn't realized that he updated this in January. I thought I had it, but maybe it is just a naming thing. Not sure. Um, but really good stuff. Um, and again, this is pretty much. Look, if you, I mean, if you're a cards and dice player, I'm kind of sorry. This Lance Power Sports Spectacular Showcase, all kinds of stuff going on in here. But again, this is the one that has all the ballparks. So you want ballparks? This is one of the places where I sourced a lot of the ballparks that I have. You have home run audio for it's just crazy. Dig deeply. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Dig deeply into this. But of course, the question becomes how good are these franchise files from Zep that I downloaded? I know that Steve speaks very highly of his. So let's pick an era in baseball. So let's go back to the one. I should just work backwards. In fact, we will this time. We just leave this up. So 2002, 2019. Let me try to see. I'm trying to remember whose favorite teams are here. So Ken Castro, Philadelphia Phillies fan. We'll start with the Phillies. Who's included on this roster? And we love looking at stats and rosters here. So again, there's going to be some there's going to be some doppelgangers, but for the most part, these are, legit Phillies, right? There's Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, right? Bobby Abreu, Scott Rowland, Shane Victorino. And this is all free. And this, again, is based on a franchise, like kind of 3-year files averaged out. However he did it, I don't know if his methodology was the same as Steve's or not. You will have to sign your own ballparks, of course. But simple. I've done a tutorial video on that too. Let me see. We have Dodgers in here. Let's look at the LA Dodgers. So there's Gary Sheffield. There's Shaw Green, Cody Bellinger, Adrian Beltre. Yasiel Puig is in here. Russell Martin. Russell Martin is going to be kind of all over the place in these files. Pitchers, of course, there's Eric Gagne and Hong Chi Kuo, Clayton Kershaw, of course, Zach Greinke. So good stuff. I think that the proper people are represented here. Looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates, there's Melanson, Tony Watson. There's Francisco Liriano, Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole, of course, is also going to be on the New York Yankees. So if you don't mind, doppelgangers, play it out as a season. Play it out as a season. There's Brian Giles, spent some time with the Bucks. There's Kutch, who's back with us. Josh Bell, my God, I'm so sorry we got rid of him. Shouldn't have happened. Gregory Polanco, Neil Walker, David Freese. You're also going to see David Freese in the Cardinals in this same set. So again, but what you can do is create a blank league and start yanking these things over, just like um, Steve recommends with his 5-year franchise files. He said that it was never meant to be played as a season, and I don't think that these were probably meant to be either. Let's see. Aaron's Cincinnati Reds fans. There's Adam Dunn is in here. Joey Votto, of course. Griffey Jr. is in here, interestingly, right? But also, I think of Griffey Jr. more as a Seattle Mariner, but nonetheless, he's in here because he played for them. Barry Larkin, of course. The modern Billy Hamilton. Actually, speaking of Billy Hamilton, well, we'll have to see when we go way back, but I don't think Sliding Billy Hamilton is in this file. There's Sean Casey. So I think they've done a good job here. I think they've done a really, really good job. What I would love to see, although it'd be hard to do with 3-year franchises, I'd like to see somebody do a 19th century kind of thing. I think would be a lot of fun. But I think that's going to be of limited interest to maybe 3 or 4 of us. All right, anyhow, let's go to another season. We'll just work backwards a little bit. So this is 1980 to 1989 coming up. And if you have a team you want to look at, let me know. Just moving backwards here. So, again, start looking at my Pittsburgh Pirates. There's Bonds, Bonilla. There's, of course, Dave Parker, Tony Pena, who you're also going to see on the Cardinals. But I think really there's Omar Moreno, Phil Garner, Scrap Iron. How about it? Michael LaValliere, slower than a beer truck. But I think one of the important things about this is so many things that you can do. So what you can do with Action PC Baseball. Do you want to take all of these, every player in this league, and dump them into a big draft pool? And you can also purge players. And the program intelligently decides which team a player should go on. Have a big draft. Have fun with it, Make your own fictional teams with real players. You can also create a blank league and go through anything that you have installed in Action PC Baseball. Create your own custom leagues using real teams if you want. Again, this is moving beyond season replays. I mean, I think everybody knows how to do that. So down here is where you can put a manager photo if you want, and all the uniform stuff. And I haven't assigned logos to these or anything like that. Again, let's look at the Philadelphia Phillies. So there's Mike Lieberthal. There's Von Hayes, John Crook. I mean, these are really, really well done. There's Nails. There's Dykstra. Michael Jack Schmidt, of course. Scott Rowland, of course, hanging around. Manny Trio. There's a name from a while back. How about it? Larry Boa, Mickey Morandini, for any of you Phillies fans. 19th century Louisville. And there's Robert, RGO Network. He said, just thought he would drop and say a quick hi. Back off to Boogaloo. So back off, Boogaloo. Ringo Starr counts. It definitely does, Robert. Caught a bit of your broadcasts, and it's going to be great to see you back in July. So welcome in for as briefly as you can stay. Welcome in. Yes, it does. Actually, Ken's going to get me to go off here on a tangent here in a second, but Diamond Mine Baseball has some great 19th century stuff. Definitely. But again, I'll try to stay on target here as much as I can with Action PC Baseball for a moment. What you can do, just load. If you just get the basic files, get Steve's files, get these ZEP files. But you know what? Support Dave a little bit. At least get the baseball history collection, and you can do so much. And then seasons are always cheap. Later on, you want to buy some seasons, get them. I bought them all just because I wanted them. But even so, then if you're doing a season replay, if you go back to that first site that we did, APC Community, I'm doing a 1971 replay. Bam, you're set. Just get those photos. You don't need those 40,000 photos if you don't want. Nice to have them though, just in case. Let's look at the Dodgers. Again, I'm just looking. Oh wow, Robert's here, so let's look at the Mets. So here's the Mets from that time period. So Strawberry, Piazza, Howard, there's Hojo, Todd Hundley. Bobby Bonilla. They're still paying his contract. There's Gary Carter, who, of course, we're going to see Carter in a couple of these. There's Alfonso, Kevin McReynolds, John Olerud. So you have all the, there's Lenny Dykstra here. Orozco, Gooden, John Franco, Randy Myers, Bob Ojeda, Sid Fernandez. So a lot of fun to play. A lot of fun to play with these. We don't have any Padres fans, so we're not going to worry about the Padres. Even though Robbie isn't around here and I don't know the Texas Rangers, there they are. So there's Palmeiro, Juan Gonzalez, Pete Incaviglia. There's Pudge, Rodriguez, of course, Ruben Sierra, what might have been, never was. Will Clark all over the place, of course. Steve Buechele, a couple former Buccos, too. Let me see. Who else? Do we have anybody here? Yep, they are still paying Bobby Bonilla. Man, they're really sucking that one up, aren't they? Let's look at the Cleveland Indians. Albert Bell, Manny Ramirez, Jim Thome. There's Joe Carter in the Indians. Of course, we also see Joe Carter with Toronto. David Justice, of course, with the Braves as well. But this is just to let you guys know what's out there for the game that you've invested in. Cubs fans, there you go. We have some Cubs fans also in here. So, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. And we're going to skip now. We're going to go to 1960 to 1979. And again, guys, these are all free. Just download them. And let's look around. Let's look around. So, of course, the Pirates, great years for them. Stargell, Dave Parker, Bob Robertson. There's the Gravedigger's son, Richie Hebner. The great one, Roberto Clemente. There's Manny Sangui and Rennie Stennett. Goes on and on and on. Pitching, we're not known for our pitching. So, but there's the Candyman, nonetheless. Teak is in there. Again, let's have a look at Philadelphia. So there's Jim Bunning, and I believe we'll probably see Jim Bunning on the Tigers as well. I should probably look at them. But hitters, there's Schmidt, Luzinski, Dick Don't Call Me Richie Allen, Johnny Callison. I know he's a favorite among Phillies fans. Yeah, guys. There's Dave Cash with the Phillies and the Bucks. Tim Foley with the Phillies Tim Foley with the Phillies, the Expos, and the Bucks. Larry Bowa, Mr. Even Temper. Giants, Mays, McCovey, Cepeda, Bobby Bonds. Nice to see Bobby Bonds in here. Okay. Anyhow, I think you guys get the idea. You guys know your baseball history. I don't need to be showing everything that's on here. So Mick says, with Zepp's collection, I believe if you click on a player, the player listed will be in the middle of the 3-year window used for that player. Well, let's take a look. Let's just click on Mr. George Brett. There he is. And the middle of the 3-year window. Yeah, so it looks like for him, let's see, because there's usually, where's the bio? Oh, I know where that is. You have to actually go into, and I'm hopefully he did this. Let's go to Kansas City since we're looking at George Brett bio. There we go. This is what you want. So if you want to know where the player came from, here it is. So George Brett, 1979. Cookie Rojas, 1972. So this bio tab's really nice. And like if you're doing something like the Howie Shanks League, and you're like, oh, geez, wait a minute, what year was so and so drafted from? This bio tab is really nice to show you where folks came from. And Steve's 5-year franchise file, I think, does the same thing. I'm not sure. I know that this was kind of like just maybe of limited interest, but nonetheless, I think it's important because we do have a lot of Action PC baseball players in the community, and I didn't know how many of you are. And you know what? There's some people that are just joining. Mick F is new to the game, newer to the game, I should say. So he's going off to have dinner. Take care, Mick. Thanks for coming in as always. We'll be doing some baseball tonight. I'm going to return to out of the park baseball for a game. Also have some new ballparks for baseball for Windows um, that older ballparks. So going to be using maybe some there. MLB The Show late tonight, and then we'll continue with the KCCL. Tonight is going to be the Providence Grays. Or no, tonight is going to be the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates and 1908 Cleveland Naps. So lots of baseball coming. I don't know if anybody has any questions about what we've shown. If you know anything that I've missed, please let me know in the comments, and I'll gladly feature that. And Dombrov, I'll be showing off Dombrov again as soon as I install the updates. Richard has taken some of your comments into consideration. I haven't looked at it yet, but he said that he has incorporated some community requested changes. I'm hoping so. It's a good game with a lot of potential. So you're very, very welcome, Andrew. So while I have enough people here, and I have nice people here, what baseball would you like to see on this channel tonight? I mean, I know MLB The Show has been a good, it's been a lot of fun for people. So that's a given for the end of the night when I'm kind of burnt out. Do you guys want to see some Howie Shanks? Do you want to go back to our 19th century dead ball tournament? Something out of the park baseball? Just kind of get a sense of what people are into, and maybe go from there. I don't know. It's just I'm so tempted sometimes when I go on here to click this little icon down here, Diamond Mine Baseball, but unfortunately, actually I do want to touch on something about Diamond Mine for the two players in the community. And let me bring this up over here. So I think I found something that is really, really, really fun and super, super helpful. As soon as I find the bloody thing, I will show you. This has to do with the all-time great players. So this is like a kind of very, very streamlined version of Action PC Baseball's baseball history collection. And where did I put it? See that? List of classic ranking. Give me a second here while you guys are thinking. Anyhow, Dombrov, download. This is terrible. There it is. There it is. There it is. All right, let me bring this up for you guys. So this is fun for Diamond Mine baseball owners. And so yeah, this is a little bit of a tangent. For Diamond Mine baseball owners, just really, really quickly, this is searchable in Google Docs. This is essentially every player in here, and you can, of course, sort. So if we go by team, if you guys remember me talking about how this works, so that you'll have things like Chicago N1, Chicago N2, Chicago N3. Well, in-game, you can look at those rosters, but maybe you might want to just see, okay, who's on that. Hey, July 14th or June 14th, Chris? I think you mean June 14th. I think. Possibly, yes, possibly. It could be. Welcome in, Christopher. Christopher is back in America. He's back in America. So yeah, I'll shoot you a message, Chris. I think you said I could message you somewhere somehow. I have to look again. I think it was on the last video I did. And we can always work it out here. It's not like we're IRA or, well, it's not like you're IRA or anything. Facebook. Gotcha, man. All right. I will definitely do that on Facebook. So here it is. So Anaheim is Anaheim. But here, like we have Atlanta 1. So Atlanta 1, already now you're looking at the area where you have Rico Cardi, Chris Chambliss. And by the way, there are absolutely no doppelgangers in this entire file, which is nice. The same with the baseball history collection, no doppelgangers. This one from Diamond Mine Baseball is just a mere 4,423 players. So, yeah, I know it's kind of a drag. But these aren't just all-time greats. These are kind of, you do get some outlier players, but like you're not going to find Moonlight Graham in here, but you will in a baseball history collection to give you kind of a little thing. But since I don't really like the Atlanta Braves, let's just move on here to a team. Okay, look at Boston. So Boston has like three, four, five. There are five versions of Boston Red Sox teams that you can play like as quote unquote all-time great teams. And you can see their, some of their rosters here, or some of the names that you should know if you're a Boston Red Sox fan. Here's Jimmy Collins, Ira Flagstead, Harry Hooper, right? These are all Boston A1. Duffy Lewis, of course, he of the Duffy's Cliff, right? Carl Mays, we certainly know about him. So great way to see who's on the roster. And then just get on to Boston A2 and all the way down. Completely sortable. You want to go by last name, then go A to Z. And there you go. You see there's Tommy Aaron made it into this. So this is good stuff. So if you have the all-time great players volume 1 and volume 2 for Diamond Mine Baseball, this is really, really nice to see who's on what roster. Also, if you wanted to do some research in the player, or maybe you need that person's universal ID, here it is, which is also used by Baseball Reference. Maybe you're creating a fantasy draft, and you want to look at what that person's role is. Well, I can check or uncheck anything here that I want. I can just look at just the pitchers. So this is kind of, again, similar to the baseball history collection. A baseball history collection in Action PC, you can do that in game. But since Cousin Ken mentioned Diamond Mine Baseball, I felt it was only I should talk a little bit about something. And when I do something on Diamond Mine Baseball, I'll be showing you guys some resources for that as well. Diamond Mine, really, really cool. Every season from 1871 to 1926, those were made as home brews, and Diamond Mine really still hasn't even gone back into the dead ball era. They've kindly allowed those home brews to exist. Freely downloadable, so you're getting a ton of baseball there if you're into older baseball. But that's another story altogether. Also, one last thing for photo packs. If you play out of the park baseball and Action PC baseball, the good news is those files will work in both games. So if you download them for out of the park and then you're like, oh, but now I need pictures for Action PC, just copy your player photos into the other directory, and nice and interchangeable. So that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. Looking forward to this little bit of time off, which is really, really nice. And to get together with you guys, do some baseball chatting. I am going to get back into the Howie Shanks League. I know I've been kind of remiss in my duties in that one, but there you go. We're coming up on July, so we're going to be revisiting the Ned McGreevy League, which is going to be lots of fun. And it's going to be a little bit more streamlined, I think, this time. Now we've learned a lot of our mistakes. Anyhow, that is it. We're at 53 minutes. And thanks, guys, for coming in. Hopefully, this has been something that's helpful. As an educator, I always like to find things that are like, yeah, man, I gotta have it. I gotta have it now. Gotta have it now. Sort of like, yeah. And until we meet later on, see you around the batting cage. Thank you to Christopher Slovic, to Andrew RW603, McF, RJL Network, Cousin Ken Castro, the heart and soul of this channel, Mark Roberts. Thank you very much, man. MV. And thanks, Mick, for supplying the Tapatalk link to the Action PC forums. And that pretty much does it, guys. And Aaron Reed. Did we say Aaron Reed? Aaron Reed. Check out Aaron Reed's channel. Please subscribe to that one. Please also subscribe to RJO Network and to Christopher Slovic, who has been doing the Creators Cup 2 series, which is absolutely brilliant. And I think the next video I'm going to do, just to drive Robbie Wertberg crazy, is a baseball for Windows in ballparks. But that'll be coming up later, sometime in the future. All right, guys, thank you, and see you around the batting cage.